In this video, I'll be working through the question you see on the screen here from 2025 Leaving Cert Higher Level Maths Paper 1. I'm going to try and show you how to do this question and not just the solution. So definitely pause and rewatch certain parts of the videos if you need to. If you're looking for a different question from this paper or a different paper entirely, you should be able to find a playlist in the description below or have a look around on my channel. Okay, let's get into the maths. Question 9 is all about a car's fuel consumption, and that's given by this function of f, where c is the speed of the car. So the faster the car goes, the more fuel it consumes. Part 1 asks us to show that there's no difference between the consumption if the car is travelling at 60 and it's travelling at 110 kilometers per hour. I'm not sure if that's true in real life. I guess sometimes lower gears have worse fuel consumption maybe, but I would have thought it'd be much higher at 110. But anyway, so how do we do that? So we want to fill in this function here, f of c, f of 60, wasn't it? Yeah, so at speed 60, what is the speed, what is the consumption? And at speed 110, what is the fuel consumption? So we just fill both of those in. That's 0.05 times 60 squared minus 8.5 times 60 plus 800. Put all that into a calculator and we should get 470. And you do the same here. Fill in 110 for all of these. I won't waste the ink doing it. We get 470 both times, and that's the answer to A part 1. In part 2, we're asked to find the derivative of df dc. Now we have f here, and it's in terms of c. So this is just a matter of differentiating this with respect to c. So don't overthink it too much at this stage. It gets more complicated later in the question. The derivative of this with respect to c is the 2 comes down, so 2 multiplied 0.1, take 1 away from one of the powers away, minus 8.5, this c, this bears, and the derivative of 800 is nothing. And so that's it, part 2. Okay, in part 3, they give us this function for the speed in terms of t, natural log of t squared. So because there's a natural log, it doesn't work at t equals 0 or in fact less than 1 in fact, because it'd be a minus, I suppose. So anyway, this is the function they give us. They tell us to use the answer from the previous part for df dc, and they want to find df dc at t equals 7. So df dc, but when t equals 7. So we just fill this out, except instead of c, we put in, well, let me write it here, 0.1, but instead of c, I'm going to put c of 7. So we'll find out what that is in a moment, minus 8.5. Let's do that here. C of 7 is, you just put 7 in here. This is 78 plus 9 natural log of 49. Put that into a calculator and we get 113.02638. I tend to just take loads of decimal places. In fact, I keep it on my calculator, so we use the exact number really. But we use this, put it in here, again, use the numbers on your calculator, multiply by this, take it away from that, and we should get 2.8 to the nearest 1 decimal place. For part 4, I'll leave this up here because I want this c equals over here. They want us to find dc dt. Again, we have c in terms of t, so it's just a matter of differentiating. The derivative of 78 is nothing. The derivative of 9 times the natural log, we'll leave the 9 alone. The derivative of a natural log is 1 divided by whatever's in that natural log. In this case, we have to use the chain rule though, because what's inside it is complex. It's complicated. So we have to differentiate what's in here. So the derivative of 2t squared is 2t. So we multiply it by that. Putting all that together, we get dc dt is equal to 18 t divided by t squared. These t's cancel and we're left with 18 over t. Sorry, the t on top cancels with one of them on the bottom. And yeah, that is what they want us to find. If you are finding my videos useful and would like to help the channel out, on top of liking and subscribing, probably the best thing you could do is to tell other people doing the exam about my channel. Maybe you could share this video in a class WhatsApp group. Then if you feel I've really deserved it and you would like to buy me a coffee, you could become a member on YouTube or on Patreon. You should find links to that in the description below. A change of clothes and then a third day later, I was called away for a bit, so let me try to continue the question. Part 5, I think I can squeeze this in here. They simply ask us to find, well, they say it in English, so let's be careful here. They want us to find the rate of change of the car's fuel consumption. That's F. The rate of change of F. That's the change in F, dF. With respect to time. So we're doing it with respect to the change in time. So that's what we want to find, dF dt, when t equals 7. So remember, this is more of a common question. dF dt, if f doesn't have t in it, which I can't remember where f is, f's up here, there's c's in it, we can do that by df dc dc dt, where both of these would be when t is equal to 7. Now we did this one here in a previous part, df dc when t equals 7, and we got, let me check my notes, at 2.8. So this is equal to 2.8. And dc dt is up here. That's just 18 over t, which again, we now know t is 7. So putting all that in, we get 2.8 multiplied by 18 divided by 7. And if I put all that into a calculator, did they ask for, I wonder, is there a problem with this? Because they didn't ask for any decimal places or anything. So maybe I'm making a mistake here somewhere, but the answer I get is 7.20, I guess 7. 3 decimal places I'll put in. Okay, that worries me that they didn't ask for decimal places and I got them. So maybe there's a mistake here. Anyway, we'll move on assuming there's not. I'll clean all this off and we'll go on to part B. Right, in part B, we're given this equation here to tell us how fast the car is going. In the first 4 seconds, between 0 and 4, this equation will tell us the velocity of the car. And in the last 4 seconds, between 4 and 8, this equation here will tell us the velocity of it. What they do is then, they give us this table, 0 all the way up to 8 each second. They've given us a lot of the answers already, and they want us to fill in the other numbers. Should be fairly straightforward here. Except for how weird the equations look, there's nothing too difficult here. They want you to put 0 in to this first equation, you get 0 out. Well, sorry, they don't want you to do that. They've done that for you. They want you to put 1 in to this equation. Everywhere there's a t, you put 1 in. Put it in your calculator. 8 multiplied by e to the power of 0.4, and then take away 8. And fill in what you get. I get 3.9. I hope it was 1 decimal. Okay, 1 decimal place. And you stay going. For number 3, you put 3 into this equation and you get, let's see, 18.6. Then we get slightly more difficult. For 5, you do not put it into this equation. You put it into this one, because 5 is now in this world. We're not in that world anymore. We're in this one. You put it in and you fill out all these numbers for 5, 6, yeah, just 5 and 6. Okay, let me pause it and put that in. Okay, I haven't left much room, but 46.6 and 59.6 is the 2 answers I get there. Right, on to part 2. I'll have to do this very roughly because, well, I couldn't be bothered drawing it out exactly. Use a ruler, use a bit of graph paper. In your exam, you're given all this. They just want to fill out all these numbers onto this graph. Again, sort of a very simple question. Once you have all the numbers, just filling them in. At 1, we go up to 3.9, something like here. 2 up to 9.8, and so on. I won't bother putting the dots in because it won't look too accurate. But you should see something like this. I think, when you put them all in and draw a line between them. I already knew the shape was probably going to be like this, because an exponential will look like this, and this is a quadratic with a minus, so it will look like this. So we're really in this part of the world, and I think they take sort of this part of the world here and they meld them together and we get something like that. Now we're finally up to some more difficult maths. They want us to use the equation phi t is equal, this second one here, this second equation here, and they want you to find the average speed of the car between 4 and 8 here. So that's 4 was somewhere like here and 8 was somewhere here. What is the average speed? The speed at 6 seconds is this. The speed at 6.5 seconds is right here. What's the average speed? So how do we do that? They've given us a massive clue. They've told us to use integration. You see integration, you hear them asking for average. I want you to be thinking about that formula for averaging with integration. So let's try that now. It's the integral of phi, and let me just leave phi t like this for the moment with respect to t. So to get the average, that's the integration here. To get the average is we integrate over the numbers they give us, between 8 and 4. That's what we're going to integrate over. We're still not done. You still need to divide out front here by the gap between these. The 8 minus, well, let me write it in like that, 8 minus 4. The distance between that, 4 will be this case, so 1 divided by 4. So what we're doing there is, remember what integration is, it's adding up area. So we're adding up the area under here, that's between 8 and 4, and then we're going to divide it by 4. That means we're going to split it into 4 sections sort of, and we'll get the average of all those. Let me say that again. We're getting the total area, and when we divide it by 4, it's like instead of these 4 sections, we're going to get a square. It's like this. Each of these are the same. That's sort of dividing by 4 is going to happen there, and that'll be the average number. Okay, hopefully that was clear. Let's do the maths. So this is going to equal 1 over 4, the integral 8 to 4 of t squared plus 24t minus 48.4 with respect to t. Let me jump up here. Integrating this is quite straightforward. Add 1 onto the t squared, we get t cubed, and divide it by 3. 24t becomes 24t squared divided by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Let me clear that off. So 12 squared minus 48.4 becomes minus 48.4t. All of this is still to be evaluated between 8 and 4, and it's all to be multiplied by 1 over 4. Partially because I'm running out of room, and partially because this is how I did it in my notes. I just used the calculator at this point. Put 8 into all of this, and I got, let's see, I left 1 over 4 outside, and when I put 8 into all of it, I got 3,152 over 15. Then I put 4 into all of this, and I got a minus, so that's minus, because we had a minus anyway. I got minus 344 over 15. This becomes a plus, we add this together, we divide it by 4. Putting it all together, I get 58.3. One thing to note about this, which hopefully I've got the right answer, I don't have the marking scheme, it's not out yet, but one thing I know of this, I like to check my answer, does it make sense? The average between these 4 numbers here, the answer I got is 58.3. Looks about okay, doesn't it? If I had got 100, if I had got a minus number, if I'd got a number that just wouldn't make sense to be the average speed between these 2 points. So I'm sort of happy with that answer. One more thing to note. I'm sure a lot of students said average, forgot about the integration, and just added these up divided by 4. That doesn't work because it's what's happening in between the numbers is also important. It's not just this number plus this number plus this number. All these in between bits have to add up, and some of them go sharper between them than others. That's why integration is needed. Okay, that's it for question 9. I hope I helped in some way. Felt a bit disjointed because it took me 2 days to do that question. But if you have any questions, maybe I missed something with that jump, let me know in the comments. Please try and use a timestamp. It helps me answer the questions. Thanks for watching and have a great day.